And with me now is CTV News political commentator Scott Reid. Scott, thanks as always for joining us.
Morning, Roger.
All right, let's talk first about the tariffs. Donald Trump now targeting the United States and Mexico with a 30% tariff that seemed to have come out of the blue.
Yeah, and it's clear that he is issuing these letters, one trading partner after another. Our number was up earlier this week. The EU, Mexico now. We saw prior to that, other letters were sent to other nations. And, you know, here's the bottom line takeaway, in my opinion. We're really seeing now what this is all about. And what this is all about is money. I think when you look at the rate that he's setting, suggesting that it's going to be at 30%, presumably that's a negotiating position. Maybe it comes down to 25 or 20. His hope is that that will generate massive revenues on duties for the United States. And we've heard him talk in the past about, well, you know, tariffs are a beautiful thing and they generate all this income. He doesn't allow for the possibility that it'll actually disrupt businesses, that you know, companies will say, well, it's just too expensive to do this work. We can't do it with the United States. And so you'll see the cost of goods go up. You'll see less investment. But I think that's what this is all about, Roger. He's haggling over price. He wants the tariff high because he wants those duties to collect and to go into the public treasury.
So does all that change how Canada negotiates with him, or are we still in the same lane and staying that way?
It doesn't change much of what we do, but it may mean that it's going to be very difficult to get a resolution we like. So, you know, presumably in our case, you think about auto manufacturing, they can't sustain 30, 35, 20% tariff. And so what does the president do on August 1st if we haven't been able to come to agreement? Does he say, look, including CUSMA goods and services, I'm just going to go across the board with a big 25% sticker on everything? And so that the challenge for Canada is going to be, can we get that number down? Can we get, you know, an across-the-board tariff rate applying to things other than those that are protected under our free trade treaty? Can we get a low number on that? And it's not obvious to me that the president of the United States is interested in a low number, so it may prove very challenging.
All right, let's quickly talk about the ethics screen for the Prime Minister. Your thoughts on it? Is it effective that we'll have the Clerk of the Privy Council and his Chief of Staff?
Yeah, this is how it's worked for a certain period of time now. Going back to my boss, former Prime Minister Paul Martin, he also had business interests, large companies. So when we came into office, he sold the company. We had to put in place these screens, and it was almost the exact same thing. The Prime Minister's office, in combination with the Clerk of the Privy Council, would identify issues in advance. So we'd say, oh, this piece of legislation that's going to be introduced to the House of Commons on Monday, Prime Minister, you can have nothing to do with it. Not only can you not speak on the bill, you cannot participate in conversations around the cabinet table or in caucus about this bill, because it could affect your own holdings, your own business interests, and you can't be seen to be advocating or steering something that would reward you financially. So it puts a lot of pressure on the clerk and the office to identify these issues, to make certain that they are steered around the Prime Minister, that there are protocols in place to ensure that everything is caught. And for the opposition, it becomes a treasure chest of potential future political allegations. You can say, aha, look at the way that this legislation will affect Brookfield, his old company, and how he's now obviously enriching himself. So you'll see from this list of assets that he's declared, 1 million accusations in the political future.
Okay, we'll look for them. Scott, thanks as always.
You bet. Cheers.
Scott Reid is our CTV News political commentator.